Hey, Scott Spears here, CCW Cavalcade. And folks, I've been doing this show
Great
alone.
cigar, Scott Spears.
Oh, it's already starting. Because as you can see, the meanest man I have ever met, the biggest shyster, the biggest con artist after the last event here in town, is back.
Well, you got the mean part right, but you didn't get the shyster part right, and I'm not a con man. If anybody's the con, it's you.
What is your lawyer's name? Because I want to take this down for reference.
Lawyer's name is straight out of the law firm of Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe.
Well, this law firm called because this joker here was from Steubenville. That's all you need to know, really, is that the man's from Steubenville, Ohio.
You ever see his office down there?
His
got
office
the
is
best humidor you ever seen in your life.
In any event,
Mr. Hughes walked in there one day and said, I can't believe this place in Steubenville.
As you can clearly see, this guy likes to talk, and because of that, after doing this show, Cavalcade, for, 4 years alone, I now have a co-host each and every week because of your law firm. Why? You don't like me, you threaten me. Why do you want to be here every week?
Now, not liking you, that's a little bit strong.
Oh,
I can't stand you.
Oh, good. It's mutual.
Yeah, well, good.
So we'll have a fun time.
Bow tie might be a little too tight around your neck because you're not thinking right. It's cutting the blood off to your brain.
We're only a few seconds in, folks, and you can see how this is going to go. But this is not going to be a happy week for Big Bully Busick, because if you missed the last event, October 28th, Halloween Bash, you don't know that we had a very interesting finish.
Interesting?
Yeah.
Interesting.
To that heavyweight
title match. You want to talk about a shyster?
No.
You pulled something.
Not me. The executive committee is in charge. I have no seat, nothing to do with that executive committee.
Executive committee. I got my attorney checking the rights out of that executive committee, too, by the bylaws and the substandards of Section C of that.
In any event, we have had the executive committee, we have had our president, our commissioner, our multitude of lawyers looking at the tape. Because here's what happened, folks. And you don't just have to take my explanation, because we're going to have the footage here next week. What happened? Mr. Hughes versus Bobo Brazil Jr. Bobo had a 2.5-year heavyweight title reign. You came in,
yes.
You interfered, clearly. Mr. Hughes gets the pin. Now, his hand was raised, and Mr. Hughes was giving...
Wait, say that one more time.
Which part? Mr. Hughes won?
Mr. Hughes won,
yeah,
right?
He did.
He was the winner, right?
I agree with that.
Right?
Yes, I do.
Got his hand raised.
Hand
1, 2, 3, right?
And right.
Did you ever doubt when I told you that Mr. Hughes was coming in here to win that title?
I told you after last program that Mr. Hughes is one of the toughest, baddest guys on the block. Mr. Hughes is no joke. And if Bobo takes Mr. Hughes lightly, then he is making a cardinal mistake. But we're talking about what happened back on October the 28th. And on October the 28th, that's not what happened.
Are you kidding me? Where's the footage? We're going to see that next week,
We're going
right?
to see that next week. And it's my understanding, now you say you want to see the footage, but it's my understanding that your lawyers have tried to block seeing this footage. They don't want to see the footage on this program. Is that true?
They put a habeas corpus block on it because they want to make sure that you didn't edit that tape.
You don't want that tape showing.
You edited it.
You don't want to see it.
You and your shyster, you like to use that word shyster, you and that executive committee.
Especially when you're around.
I've seen executive committees before.
When you're around, I like to use that word a lot.
You pulled a fast one on my man, Mr. Hughes. Mr. Hughes ain't happy, I ain't happy, and our law firm ain't happy either.
I don't care. Because what's going to happen, the tape is embargoed. One thing this shyster's lawyers were able to do was get that footage embargoed. We can't show it to you this week. But I'm making you, the audience, a promise, and I've never
So they got to
hedged.
tune in next week to see it.
And we're going to have it, whether you like it or not.
Well, I want to make sure it wasn't edited. I'll tell you that much. Because if it's not edited, you'll see why Mr. Hughes is clearly the heavyweight champion.
I can't say one way or another yet. But I got to ask you something, because these balloons were delivered here this afternoon.
Yes, they were.
And I asked the guy out back, I said, why are you bringing in balloons? And they said, our Big Bully Busick is planning a celebration next week.
Big celebration.
For what? You haven't accomplished anything.
What are you talking about? We walked off with a heavyweight championship. I proved that Bobo Brazil got a surgically implanted titanium plate in his head. Dr. Poputnik's send the reports right to my attorney's office for that. Then we got CBS, NBC, KGB, NPR looking at the file footage to make sure that tape wasn't edited, and you're going to give Mr. Hughes that title.
You know, Donald
I'm
Trump,
starting to get hot.
the new president calls the media dishonest. Now, you just said that
You don't stand a chance with that guy, then.
He loves me. He calls in all the time.
Trump does.
Trump does.
You and Trump personal friends? You're a liar.
Like, liar? Coming from you, that's a
Bold-faced
compliment.
liar.
You know what, folks? We're going to go on.
Not a regular liar. Notice I put that adjective in there? Bold-faced liar.
Yeah, we've got a great match coming from Freedom Hall
Sort of like
here.
that tie.
Let me tell people what's on.
Bold.
Were you in the production meeting earlier on? Did you get the script?
I did not.
Here's a copy. Not for you. Anyway, coming up on the program today, we have got a CCW classic that dates back to 2014. Tony Atlas, Mr. USA, will go one-on-one with your guy, Mr. Hughes, who at that time was managed by the very devious Ox Baker. No longer with us, but he'll be in the classic today. So look at those eyebrows and look at that mustache. You know, you and he kind of look alike.
Me and Ox Baker, I met Ox Baker. I got a great couple photos with Ox. One of my mentors from years back.
That's coming up in the CCW Classic today, and we are going to go to a match right now from Freedom Hall. Sergeant Mac Thompson takes on Quentin Deal, two young up-and-comers. Get away from that. Go to the match. What a tremendous match that was from Freedom Hall, and
Did you get the Miriam Star?
I got the Miriam Star.
Did you see who's in there?
Show it to the camera.
There it is, right there.
Director, zoom in on that. Zoom in on
Mr. Hughes and Big Bully Busick. We made the Marion Star right there in old Harding, President Harding. Okay, right in his hometown. We made it, pal.
Ooh, I'm thrilled.
Oh, you ought to be. We're the heavyweight championship. Mr. Hughes
I
is
don't
the
know that
heavyweight
yet.
Yeah, he's the heavyweight
I
champion.
don't know
You
that.
know it.
You spout all that nonsense. Give me this paper. You didn't pay for that. Knocked over one of those
I don't have to pay.
newspaper
They send me
machines.
1,000 copies down in Steubenville.
What is this celebration you have planned next week? I keep hearing celebration, celebration. They're bringing in the balloons.
The balloons, everything. Cigars.
So who'd you steal these from? I know you didn't pay for them.
Of course I paid for
You
them.
did not.
Mr.
You
Hughes
did not.
Send it some cash up.
You know what? I know you all want to see the great CCW Classic here. Mr. Hughes, Mr. USA, Tony Atlas, Ox Baker in the corner of Mr. Hughes, CCW Classic. Take a look. What a tremendous match that was. That
was an exciting
Classic.
match, wasn't it?
You saw who
Did
won.
you see my man, Mr. Hughes?
But did you see who
Total
won?
protection, Mr. Hughes.
Did you see who won? Mr. USA, Tony Atlas took that one by disqualification because, of course, that
say it again.
By DQ because that devious
Because
Ox
he
Baker.
couldn't handle Mr.
No,
Hughes.
because Ox Baker was in the ring. That crazy man.
God rest his soul.
God rest his soul is right, but he was nuts, certifiably,
Well,
without question.
he's a
Wherever he is now, trust me,
few fries
he's
short
still
of a happy meal, no
few,
doubt.
without question. Now, next week, folks, you are not going to want to miss this show because we are going to show that footage that has been embargoed since October 28th. Yeah. You don't want it shown, but it's going to be shown.
I
Next
want
week-
it shown. I want to
No,
make sure it
you
hasn't
don't.
been edited.
Your lawyers have been calling here, whining and crying, and you know.
No,
like you
they're
do.
calling here to protect Mr. Hughes.
And also, we are going to have a representative from the Classic Championship Wrestling Board of Directors, Jeff Bargo, here, because he's going to.
You know, I try to be nice to you, but I really
Really?
am starting to get hot.
When?
I really am.
When were you nice?
When
were you nice?
Keep it up. Keep it
Now,
up.
what is this? Also, I'm out back during the break there while that CCW
I'll slap
Classic
the
is on.
taste right out of your mouth.
Here he goes again. Slap the taste. He always wants to hit somebody. Now, listen, I was out back again trying to get some word on this party you've got planned next week, and it's my understanding you've got guests coming to this party?
I do.
Who?
None of your business.
None of my... You don't have any friends. Who could you invite?
I have many associates.
No, but no friends. Many associates, but no friends. Now, listen to what's going to be on this program next week, folks. Not only are you going to see that great footage that's
You
going to
know,
prove
Bobo
once and
Brazil
for all.
called me. He wants to be my friend.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't take the call.
You know what? We can call Bobo up. I have Bobo's phone number.
Yeah, we'll call him. I didn't take the call. He's
You
a
didn't
little
take
bit-
the call.
I-
How do you
he's
know he
a
wanted to
little
be your
bit insulted.
friend?
I only take Mr. Hughes' calls.
See, you lie so much you contradict yourself in the middle of a sentence.
Go ahead.
Uh-huh.
Keep going.
Coming up next week on the program, we're going to have that great footage, which is for once and all going to prove that Mr. Hughes is not the heavyweight champion.
It's going to prove that Bobo Brazil used that surgically implanted
Again, not true.
titanium plate in his head.
On you.
On me. That's what I'm saying.
You weren't in the
He
match.
was barred from doing that.
Why were you on the apron?
I was checking to make sure the referee was okay.
He was up on his feet. What was the problem?
I didn't want him to miss anything.
You'll see the footage next week, folks. As much as he doesn't want you to see the footage, you are going
I
to see
wanted
the
to
footage.
see it.
You're going to see that footage. And guess what? Jeff Bargo will be here from the board of directors. He's got a little thing to say, too. And your
I
party...
guess he's on the executive committee, too.
It's a big committee.
Yeah, no
a lot
doubt.
of a lot of people to deal with you. And your party next week?
Yeah?
Oh, please. Who's coming?
Nice party.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Nice party.
I'll tell you what, and the matches on the program next week, you're not going to want to miss. It is Chippendale in action and another CCW Classic. This is the one we've had calls to see again. It's a battle royal. Participants in this thing: Bobo Brazil Jr., Mr. Hughes, Uncle Hog, Butcher Beast, Nikolai Volkov, and about 10 other superstars in that.
Did you have
thing.
to reinforce the ring?
We did.
I had no doubt in my
We
mind.
did. That was a big match. Over the top rope battle royal. That dates back to 2015. We're going to look at that next week. So I'll be back. Unfortunately, he'll be back with
Hill
some
being who? Say the name.
you,
Say the name.
Big Bully Weiner.
Big Bully Busick. And don't forget it. Don't cross that line.
What line?
Running your mouth too much.
For the Weiner. This is Scott Spears saying have a great week. See you back here next week.